Hi, hello, how are you, Amanda Seint artist? We're gonna do our makeup and I'm gonna go light. This is my usual suspects, my main highlight, my brightening, my contour, my blush. I have Athens as my main, Sunlit has that yellow tone so it works as a corrector. I'm using Cedar contour and then I have Madrid as my blush. It's such a great natural look. We're gonna look natural, it's not gonna be heavy. I think if you like a light application, you'll be really surprised how much you can build this makeup up and it'll still feel light, because that's the first thing everybody says. Oh, it feels so light, I don't feel like I have much on. All right, that's great. So I'm going to take my setting spray. I'm using Charlotte Tilbury. I have oily skin, so I do use a different setting spray, and that's fine. I like Urban Decay All Nighter. The De-Slick is my favorite, and I like Charlotte Tilbury. This one has kind of a rose smell. It's such a light, pretty scent, but if you use the De-Slick, it doesn't have the scent, so it's whatever you want. All right, if you're more on a budget and you need something for oily skin, go to Amazon. Thank Me Later is the brand it's called, and Thank Me Later. And it's a really great option if you're on a budget. I think it's $15, so it's about half the price of the other ones. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to use the big end for my face, and I'm just going to even out the lower part of my face. The nice thing about this is Seint is essentially one layer of glorious makeup. It looks like your skin. It's just good stuff. These all work together, not against each other, which you can't get out of your regular makeup because you're using powders and liquids and thick concealers, and those don't work together. But these cohesively work together. So I've got some on. This was a clean brush, and this is all I'm going to need. And I'm going to go right down here, and I have some discoloration. I have acne. I get hormonal breakouts, but you can easily, I bring this up onto the apples, and then I just bring this up and down. And I like a stipple method on my apples because I have larger pores and I do have scarring. And so the stipple method is what works best for me. Just go in and build as you need until you're happy. And if that's just a very light feathered amount to even it out, that's exactly what we're doing with this color. This is not a lot of makeup, but this is well pigmented. And that's what's different. That's what sets us apart from other creams, from other makeups. Your traditional makeup is 18% pigmentation. So this is 80%. That's a really big jump, which means you get to take this makeup and use way less and get really great coverage. And I just like to tap a little bit on and just build where I need it. And it can be heavier where I need it. It can be lighter where I don't. And it still looks great. And they all will work, again, together. I only put my main highlight down here on the lower part of my face just to even out my hyperpigmentation and my scarring and my redness. And I base your color match off of your undertones, that redness or hyperpigmentation, to balance things out. And we talk about it, and your palette will look different than my palette. I have a big palette, and when I recommend your makeup, I do give a big list. And that's because I want you to have a place to reference, because I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to come knocking on your email in 3 days saying, you need more already. I know you haven't gotten your package, but let's get more. And I'm not going to come at you after 2 weeks. I might check in with you. I really don't like to bother people. I really don't. And it's because I didn't like getting bothered whenever I would go to it could be it could have been a jewelry MLM. I hated that icky feeling of MLMs. So I try to go against it. And so you're going to get a big list that you can get the basics. It's got asterisks, it's bold, and that's the basics. And then you can come back and reference that list when you're ready to add to the second layer. All right. We're done with this, and I've talked a lot. I'm going to go in on this fluffy end on the small side, and I'm going to grab my Sunlit Brightening. This is meant to be lighter than your skin tone, so you're going to see it. And again, it has that high pigmentation. I'm going to go over my brows, and it's going to help cancel out some of that redness I get over my brows, and then I'm going to go about halfway up my forehead. It's okay if you see a difference. You should. What a brightening does is it brightens. I have reflecting light on my face. All I'm doing is accentuating that by mimicking it with a lighter shade. And we're not going to go crazy because it can create texture. If I feel like you have a lot of skin texture, I may say skip the brightening, and that's okay too. All right, now we're going to go in and contour. That's all I do is right kind of down the middle. I do my nose differently because I do. There's about a bazillion different ways to apply this makeup. Finding your way is what's key. So I'm going to go into Cedar. I like picking a color, if you're wanting just the basics, that's going to give you a touch of warmth. And we're going to kind of contour and we're going to kind of bronze. It's going to be like a bronzer kind of thing. So I'm going to add it to the brush and I'm going to look at my forehead and see we already have hair structure. We've got shadowing here from our hair, structure from our skull, and we're just going to apply this contour to those areas, and then I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to fix this, but I'm going to empty that brush. You don't want to empty it all in one place. And I'm going to push this on my cheekbone and on top, right up here. And we're going to let this work together, and then I'm going to swirl this up, but I like to make sure I get this. So I go around the top of my cheekbone, and then I push down just like that. And this works as a bronzer and a contour. I like doing this more than I like using a bronzer because it's so warm. It can easily turn your face orange and then you're an Oompa Loompa. We don't want to be an Oompa Loompa. It's not Halloween every day. So that's why I like using a contour that has a touch of warmth. And then I use this small end. I'm pulling that brightening into that contour. And it just balances it out. It's a nice thin layer of makeup that gives you structure, gives you balance, and it gives you coverage. Everything in this palette, even this pink color here, is a foundational coverage. It is hair wash day, so my hairs are everywhere. That's okay. That's okay. But look, I'm getting coverage, I'm getting dimension, and it's just good stuff. I'm going to use my fingers. I find this to be the easiest way to apply your contour. I'm going to go down each side of my nose, and then whatever's left, I'm just going to square it off on the tip here. Okay? I'm going to take the big end, I'm going to pinch it, and I'm just going to tap it out. I like tapping it out. If you have a crooked nose or a bump on your nose, tapping out is going to be your best friend. Then I bridge it together across the top, and it's going to show you why in a minute. Push that towards your brow, your natural brow shadow. I mean, your shadows are there. Use them as your guide. That's going to tell you where everything goes. I'm going to take this small end, pinch it also, so it's like a line. We're going to dip in, and we're going to go right down the middle of the nose. You can tap it, sweep it, whatever you want. Tapping it down. This is what gives you that nice straight structure, and this is just slimmed down my nose just a touch, and it makes me happy, and that's all that matters. As long as it makes me happy, that's all that matters. All right, next, I'm just going to empty out that brightening where I need to. It's not that much because I didn't add that much, but I do it. All right, we're going to go into Madrid. Now, again, this is a great color. I have scarring, and I don't like it to pull through. Madrid is a nice, light, neutral. It gives you just a little bit of a flushness, and it's just good stuff. So I'm going to take that big end, and we're going to press into it, and I'm going to start at the top. I'm 43, and so the volume of my cheeks goes down just a little bit. I see a car. Garbage man's here. All right. You guys get to know all the things and hear all the things. So I'm going to go up at the top right here, and we're just adding that pink flushness. And again, this is buildable. Then I bring it to my apples, and I stipple this because I want it to work with my makeup like it's supposed to without pulling my scarring through. And I do this before my under eyes because I always go too high on my blush, and I need to rein it in. And these work together. All right, so we've got that blush, again, starting at the top of the apples of my cheeks and then bringing it down. I smile because as you get older, you lose the volume. And so smiling, one, makes you happy, and two, it shows you where your apples are. So we smile. Cheese, and that's it. I do sometimes like to put my main highlight with it if I feel like it's pulling my scarring through on my apples, because that's where it, I don't know why I got acne there, but I did. And I'm just going to live with it and be fine. All right, we're going to take this small, and I'm going to do this under eyes first, then we're going to get our lips because this is my lip color also. I'm going to go into Sunlit very carefully. It picks up very easily, and we have this natural shine right here. We're going to go with it, and we're going to sweep this up our orbital, and you just very barely tap it. You want to think, I didn't get anything on that brush, but you do. And then you work it up that soft tissue and into that inner corner right here, and that's your under eyes. Look at how it just livens things up, and you can build it. Less is more for your under eyes, and you want to tap. You don't want to have a bunch of wiggle movement because it's just going to mature your under eyes that much more. And at the end of this video, once I got my eye makeup on, because I'm not going to make you sit through all that, you're going to see my before picture, and then you're going to see my after picture with my eyeshadow. Because let's just face it, it's not really the eyeshadow that makes a difference, it's the mascara. And so you're going to see my after picture at the end paired with my before picture, and it's just good. So again, taking that shine you see right here, We're going to work with it, and we're going to come up and then into that soft tissue, onto that inner corner. I get a really dark spot on that inner corner, and that's why I bring mine there. I don't like putting a shimmer on my inner corner because I have maturing under eyes, and I feel like it can very easily look gunky. So I just don't. And then I can go in and merge my brightening with my blush. We're going to take that same small end. We're going to pinch it. I'm going to go into my contour, and we're going to put a shadow under and over. And it doesn't have to be perfect. No shadow is. Shadows are like people. No one's perfect. And we're just going to sweep this back and forth. I'm going to take a little bit of my brightening around the sides of my mouth. And we're just going to tap it out. You don't want to look like you just got done eating a donut, so you really want to tap this out. This gives you structure. It gives you a pout, and it's just good. I'm going to take a lip liner because I like structure, and I'm trying to use one brush. I'm going to use Wherever Walnut. I clearly love this color. This is by Makeup Forever, and it is Wherever Walnut, very popular neutral color, and I am going to line my lips. You can do this with your contour, you can do this with a bronzer, you can do this with whatever you want. I'm just lining, not outer lining, adding that shadow to the bottom and the top of my lip gave it an illusion of a curl and gives you the illusion of a larger lip without outer lining and showing off that outer lining. I'm going to take my blush color and we're going to make that my lip color. And it's just really, I mean, that's why we use creams, right? They can be used for so many different things. You can take your contour and you can pop that on your eye and you can make that your eyeshadow. It's just good stuff. I mean, I wasn't going to do my eyes, but maybe now I am. Adding a little bit of my contour to my lid here, and you don't need a lot. You just want it just a hint. And if that's all you want to do for the day and then pop on some mascara, do it. But that's it. That's the basics, doing a light application. You just need to even out your skin tone, and it's easy. You're going to take your setting spray. This is my biggest tip. Take your setting spray, spray your face. Don't be scared. You're wearing creams, okay? It's not going to ruin it by getting your face good and damp. Take that fluffy brush, press that setting spray in. Set that stuff in. Don't let it just sit where it is. Move it around, blend it in, marry all your makeup together, and that's it. That's your makeup. The basics, light application. It's nice, it's natural. Now you're going to see my before, and then you're going to see my after. And you're going to say, hot dog, I want to try that makeup. And then you're going to send me a makeup-free picture facing a window a couple steps back. That's it. And I'll send you all the things, and you can just get the basics, or you can get more. It's your prerogative. It's your choice. It's not mine. Have a great day.